You there? How about?
Come on, Con, I'm here. So like, yeah.
All right. Most High in Christ. So like, I think that the smoke is the incense is messing with the green screen.
Yeah.
All the smoke. Yeah. About to get it in.
Oh, Con, I see it on the stream. Select.
Yeah. There's no sweat. Let me just fix it. I'm gonna play some music real quick. Play something.
Voting ain't gonna help us, man. Marching ain't gonna help us, man. Protesting ain't gonna help us, man.
What it's like for a nigga like me.
Like me.
What it's like for a nigga like me.
Like me.
What it's like for a nigga like me.
Like me.
What it's like for a nigga like me.
Like me.
What it's like for a nigga like me. Gray skies overhead, success ain't looking likely, but I try to do the right thing like Spike Lee. And I talk to God, the one and almighty. Lord, please have mercy on me.
Have mercy on me. Yeah.
Lord, please have mercy on me.
Have mercy on me.
Have mercy on
Man, this
me.
shit ain't no joke, man, this shit ain't no joke. Like the boy cried wolf, I ain't blowing no smoke. You don't gotta look far to see it ain't no hope in this fucked up world. I'm just trying to stay afloat. I grew up in the ghetto in the middle of the streets, H-E-L-L, the belly of the beast. Thanksgiving came around, I wasn't having no feast when the landlord talking about breaking out lease. Goddamn, what's next? My girl broke it with your boy and she did it in a text that if I couldn't have nothing that I could have love besides love for the money and selling these drugs. Sometimes it seems like it's the only way out, but every day I'm getting older and it's getting played out. Can't end up in the pen trying to find a way out. Lord forgive me for my sins, for my heart gave out. My dad died, biggest loss I ever had to take. He a big part of the reason I'm the man I am today. And moving on was a move I wasn't trying to make, but I got sons now, so I gotta lead them now to straight. And even though success is looking unlikely, I stay mighty and pray nightly and remain doing the right thing like Spike Lee, which is hard in this life for a nigga like me. All my life I had to fight like my name's Sophia. Always had heart and in my heart was no fear. Boy, I stayed in some trouble always stayed near. When you black in America, that's all you cold here, I can't lie. Some days I wanna break down and cry for me and my people that's fighting to stay alive. Cause living ain't living when you living to survive. Yes, we living in hell till the heavens arrive. Now I mean,
What it's like for a nigga like me.
like me.
What it's like for a nigga like me.
Like me.
What it's like for a nigga like me.
Like me.
What it's like for a nigga like me. Gray skies overhead, success ain't looking likely, but I try to do the right thing like Spike Lee. And I talk to God, the one and almighty. Lord, please have mercy on me.
Have mercy on me. Yeah.
Lord, please have mercy on me.
Have mercy on me.
Have mercy on me. What it's like in this life for a nigga like me. Every day I gotta fight my demons. Wake up, thank God I'm breathing. Cause all nightmares, America's dreaming. Trying to find a way to make it while surrounded by heathens. No stress long as I got a coat and I'm eating. I'm blessed and I know the Most High's the reason. But my heart's bleeding through my sleeve is seeping. For all the things that I've been peeping. Type of shit make you say fuck it and sleeping. Cause while you was sleeping during the evening, my heart's bleeding through my sleeve is.
Hey, Shalom, Israel, Lord in Christ. You there, young man? Hey, I'm Priest and Officer Walker Bar. We're running a little late, but we're going to get into it. We got some topics we're going to go over. We're going to get into a little bit of some historical context when it comes to the Black Christian church and how the church operates. What else? The migrant crisis. What else? Black pastors, man. Keon Richardson. He asked his followers, his online followers, for $2,100, man. $2,100 in these hard times. And that's a Christian pastor for you, right? That's a Christian. That is a pastor. That is a false prophet and a shepherd. And it is not nothing new. And we're going to go over that. We're going to go over that. And then I think I have, well, I didn't even prepare the slide, but I want to go over the Mobile Stone, which a lot of brothers already know about the Mobile Stone. We're going to go over a few things before I open the start the class or anything and get into any precepts. Anybody have any questions or anything like that? We can get that. We can go over that stuff. Anything, young man? Salakia, I bought y'all. You got anything? I think your phone might be if you're talking, I see that you're unmuted, but I don't hear you. If you can hear me. Hold on 1 second. Salakia, let me see. Now I think I should be able to hear you.
Come on, can you hear me?
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
That's perfect. That's perfect.
Okay.
So we have what's the story I want to go into? First off, I got this book. Let me get this book. Actually, Captain Akkad had basically posted a snippet of an article talking about the Negro, the black people back in the day. And it was, I can't remember specifically what he had posted, but it made me want to go see. I seen the subtitle and it made me want to go see the book. So the book is this book. It's called The American Dilemma by Gunnar Murdo. And this book, well, it talks about the Negro social structure. So what it was the president at the time, I can't remember the president at the time, I believe it was like in the 40s, the president of the United States, they wanted to do an assessment on black people and the condition of black people and the structure of the black community. And so what ended up happening was you had a white man that came from Europe to do this assessment. They didn't want any white people or scientists or social scientists to do it in America because of the racism from white Americans towards blacks and the biases. They didn't want that. So they used a white man from Europe to come and observe black people, go to the hood and observe their family structure, church and whatnot, and all of the different institutions that are in the black community. And he came up with this in an assessment of black people, which is really good. And it's very cheap. I got this book. It's tore up, but I got this book. I put some Scotch tape on it, but I got it for probably like $5, you know. Let me see. Second Ezra 6:54. Let's get Second Ezra 6:54.
Come on, Con, I'm on it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the book of Second Ezra, chapter 6, verse 54. And after these, Adam also, whom thou madest Lord of all thy creatures, of him come we all, and the people also whom thou hast chosen.
The Thabalim said, Consir, if I may, Second Ezra 6:54 says, we all come from Adam. Is this because of the flood? If you could give me be a little more specific. I'm trying to catch it. You got to help me. Sometimes I'm getting up in age. Sometimes I don't catch on to what you're actually asking. But just explain it a little bit. Help me out, please. Help me out. We all come from Adam. Is it because of the flood that we all come from? Or are you saying is because Adam is pre-flood, right? Is that what you're saying? Because Adam is the first man that the Lord decided to get a law, statute, and commandments to, and he's pre-flood. He's before the flood, and I'm trying to get it out. We're gonna get this together. We're gonna get this one together. I think I'm trying to catch where you're going. just explain a little bit more. In the meantime, the sister said, sir, when Israelites, okay, you put, because Christians believe only Adam and Eve was there. Right. So Christians do believe it was just two people. They do believe that. And second Ezra says that we all come from Adam. Damn, am I missing something, y'all? And I'm really, Salaki, I'm really trying to get it. Sounds like oh, that's you responding. I'm gonna come back to that. I need a little more context.
Salaki, sir, if I may.
Yeah, throw it in there for me.
I think he's saying, is it because of the flood? Is the text saying why we all come from Adam is because of the flood? Like, is that the reason why we all come from Adam? But I don't know. I think that's what he's asking.
But see, Adam predates the flood.
Right.
Say that again.
I said no. I was just saying right. So like,
let me go to the next one. I'm not gonna forget about that one. We're gonna have to chop it up. We could chop it up, and you know, I can get the complete understanding of what you're saying. Or maybe I'm missing something. Maybe I'm just not understanding, because that could be the case too. Definitely. Sister Deandra said, when Israelites say Yahawashi will get us all on the same page, is that an excuse not to come together? It could be an excuse. I mean, that definitely can be an excuse for brothers and sisters to stay separate, stay in their own their own denomination or whatever it is. You could just you can kind of look at that also the way a Christian looks at it. That's a very Christian concept, because Christians have many denominations, and you would think, because Christianity says to love everyone, that everyone would come together, everyone would be unified, you know, and that's not the case. That is not the case. So that definitely is a way for people not. It's an excuse not to come together. It definitely is. Okay, you said if there was people around at the same time as Adam and Eve. So you saying, like, if a Christian was asking me, if I say that Adam and Eve were not the first people, then the Christians are going to say, but there were other people. Okay, if there was other people, then how do we all come from Adam? Coming from a Christian standpoint, because Adam was given the law, statutes, and commandments, and we're from the lineage of Adam. And so I see what you're saying. And I would say, now I get it. I would say because of the flood. I'm not 1,000%, but now I understand what you're saying, the way you broke it down. Okay, I would say because of the flood, that's why we all come from Adam. Yeah, Khan. I would say because of the flood. Definitely. I hope that answers your question. I hope I answered both of y'all questions, the sister and the brother. Yes, sis, but you know, the sister said, let me put it up. I could put it up, right? Where am I at? I mean, that's what we all wish. The sister said, it's really sad being under the I.S.U.P.K. You look at other groups and you wish they would fall in line, but the truth ain't for everybody, though. You know, that's a desire for all of us. That's a desire for Commander Jenny Hana, that's a desire for all the brothers. Even though you look at us and you look at brothers and you say, well, brothers is hardcore. If you're not rocking with the truth, you're not in the truth. I.S.U.P.K is the home of the truth. Commander Jenny Hana for years has been making that call out to say all camps come together, come to the Passover. All camps are ordered to come together, because it's pointless, because it just starts to look like a rendition of the Christian church, where you have this denomination, that denomination. You have all these different sects of Christianity, and you start to look at it, and you do feel sad for your people. You do feel like, damn, the truth is so beautiful, and having this knowledge just sets you higher than everyone else, and you feel good about yourself, and you now have a solid foundation and understanding of who you are. Why is it that we cannot just come together and get along? If you could, let me see real quick. Give me Matthew 9:35.
Okay. The book of Matthew, chapter 9, verse.
Yeah, okay, that's good.
Okay. The book of Matthew, chapter 9, verse 35. And Yahushua went about all the cities and villages, teaching in their synagogues and preaching the gospel of the kingdom, and healing every sickness and every disease among the people. Verse 36. But when he saw the multitude, he was moved with compassion on them, because they fainted and were scattered abroad, as sheep having no shepherd.
And that's the issue. When we look at our people, we have compassion on our people, even the people that are hard-headed and stiff-necked, because they are weak. Really, a person making an excuse not to come into the truth, they're dealing with a lot of demons, and they're dealing with a lot of things that they don't want to let go, and they're dealing with pride, and they're scattered abroad because of false prophets and because of brothers that left the truth. Is the reason why you have so many people that understand that they're Israelite now, but they hate camps. They say, oh, I can't be in no camp. They are the devil. And they don't even understand that without camps, the nation of Israel would not even be here. They don't understand without brothers going on street corners, the word would never go forth. They think that you're supposed to be sitting in some room, on the internet and writing letters to people. Whereas we go out on the streets and do what the prophets of old did. That's in the Bible. The prophets of old stood on a piece of wood in the chief concourse of the cities, prophesying to the wind, whether you hear or not. Right. But Christ had compassion when he seen how lost the people were, and how scattered they were. And they were scattered because of false prophets and because of new doctrines every day. There's a new person, a new Israelite that raises up every day and starts his online congregation and comes with a new doctrine. And so it just creates more confusion and more confusion. And people become hard-headed and prideful. And they say that, I know that's the truth, but I'm good over here. I'm going to stay where I'm at. There's many brothers that black people follow online that came out of the school in the 90s that are doing their own thing. And the callers went out to these different groups and these different people and these brothers and sisters to come back home, come back to where the Lord actually decided to put it. If it wasn't for the I.S.U.P.K, the reason why we say I.S.U.P.K is the home of the truth, if you're not in the I.S.U.P.K, you are not in the truth, because it's true. It's not a lie. We're not just making this up.
Right.
We're not making this up. Yeah, I go over the history all the time where black people knew they was Israelites coming from slavery, coming from West Africa, but they had lost their heritage. They had lost the all of it, but they were still holding on to a little bit of it. Native American Indians, some of the tribes still know that they are Israelites. They knew they was Israelites, but they wasn't keeping the law, statute, and commandments anymore. They were probably wearing fringes. But yeah, there's bits and pieces of the truth you can find throughout history. But it wasn't until 1969 when the Lord gave the vision and brought all of that together under one banner on this side of the earth in the I.S.U.P.K. It was then when this truth was reintroduced to the world, because the truth was lost for a long time. Give me Jeremiah 17:3.
Okay.
The truth was lost for a very long time. The truth was lost, you could say, from 70 AD. The truth started to lose its power. And you had Israelites that were pushed into Africa, were pushed into East Africa, Aswan, Egypt, Northern Africa, Algiers, Morocco, Spain, Timbuktu, all the way down to Senegambia, to the Congo. You had Israelites. And as they started to migrate all throughout Africa and come throughout West Africa, they lost a lot of those things and intermingled with the heathen. The Shemites intermingled with the Hamites. And that's why you have a hard time even distinguishing sometimes when you look at those ones from the Ivory Coast and West Africa, because our people did a lot of mingling there. But the majority of us was put on cargo slave ships. The bulk of us was put on cargo slave ships to the West Indies and then to North America. You got that?
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
The book of Jeremiah, chapter 17, verse 3. O my mountain in the field, I will give thy substance and all thy treasures to the spoil.
Give me that's Jeremiah 17. Give me 17, 17 and 4.
Okay. The book of Jeremiah, chapter 17, verse 4.
Mm-hmm.
And thou, even thyself, shalt discontinue from thine heritage that I gave thee. And I will cause thee to serve thine enemies in the land which thou knowest not.
The Lord said that we would discontinue from our heritage. We discontinued. And so for that time, the truth was lost. And the truth was reintroduced to the world and given to Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians in America in 1969 in Harlem, New York, and with some radical Negroes that was hitting the streets hard, spreading this truth that Black people were the real Jews, and said that this is radical and this is revolutionary. This is controversial to say Black people are brothers with Mexicans and Native Indians, and they are not brothers with Africans. That's revolutionary. When you have, Pan-Africanism blowing up, that Marcus Garvey movement, you have all of these things. You have Islam. When the truth came out, the Nation of Islam controlled the Black community, meaning they had the power and the influence. You had Malcolm X, you had Elijah Muhammad. The Nation of Islam was the strongest Black power movement at the time when the truth was revealed, when brothers started hitting the streets, teaching this truth of God, of the law of Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians being God's chosen people. And so our people a lot of times our people are coming out of Christianity in that mindset just to go into another form of Christianity, go into a fake Israelite group. And they hear that they hear a little of the truth and it's mixed in with Christianity, and that's good enough, because our people look at the I.S.U.P.K, they look at the austereness of the I.S.U.P.K and say, well, no, because I know I'm going to have to change and I won't be able to do certain things. And they're still able to they're still smoking weed in those fake Israelite groups. They're still turning women into whores in those fake Israelite groups. They're still doing the same things they were doing because they don't have any oversight. They don't have nobody they have to answer to. In the I.S.U.P.K, brothers have to answer to someone. Everyone has to answer to someone.
Right.
Everyone has somebody over them. You know what I mean? No brother is over, no brother is better than any other. But anybody can be taken to counsel or held accountable. Anybody. From Commander General YAHANNA all the way down to the young man that just walked into class today. So it is a sad thing. It's sad that brothers and sisters don't want to come into the truth. But like General Muhammad says, we'll wait and we'll see. We'll see who God is with. We'll see who the Lord is with. We'll wait and see. No, we pray that brothers and sisters do come into the truth and realize there's only one place. There's no scandals. Sisters are not getting murdered. Brothers are not sneaking around with transmissions, getting caught with transmissions, and then shooting them in the face. All of these wild things that are happening in these fake Israelite groups. It's crazy, and everybody just ignores it as though it's not happening. That's just like Christianity. They ignore what them pastors are doing. They ignore everything that those pastors are doing, and they ignore everything those pastors are doing and come back to church on Sunday like nothing ever happened and praise that pastor. You seen what those scandals come out, Creflo Dollar. It don't matter what black pastor it is. When it comes out, that congregation acts like nothing ever happened. And that's the same you see with these fake Israelite groups. You know what I mean? We go hard on them when they mention I.S.U.P.K, or they try to, sometimes they want to sneak this and all of that. But we don't have to do all of that. We'll meet you direct. If that's what you want to do, we can do that. But at the end of the day, we'll see who the Lord is with. We're going to see who the Lord is with. Okay. So this book, let me get this book real quick. Let me get this part. It's got an interesting part in here about the Negro, the church setup. Where is it at? So like y'all. Is this it right here? I had the page bookmarked and I done lost the page. So like, let me see real quick. Anything in the chat, young man? You can see it. Can you see the chat?
Kind of want, kind I can. The brother Quadash put the scripture in there, Matthew 10:34. I think that was earlier. So like,
Let's hear it. Let's hear what.
okay. The book of Matthew, chapter 10, verse 34. Think not that I am come to send peace on earth. I came not to send peace, but a sword.
Right. Keep going.
Verse 35.
Excuse me.
For I am come to set a man at variance against his father, and
Right.
a daughter against her mother, and the daughter-in-law against her mother-in-law.
Uh-huh. Keep going.
And a man's foes shall be they of his own household.
Right. So Christ didn't come. He didn't come for peace. Christ caused the presence of Christ or following Christ causes division. It causes separation. In essence, it causes holiness, right? Because holy is to be separate. So when you start following Christ and you start coming home and telling your family members, I don't eat pork anymore. I'm not celebrating Mother's Day no more. It is going to cause division. Your father will say, you don't love your mother? Your mother carried you for 9 months. You can't get her no flowers on Mother's Day? It will cause division. The little small things that you think are small, once you get into the truth, you'll realize how big and how much they mean to people in the world.
Right.
You'll realize that pork is a very hard thing for Black people to let go. You'll realize that Christmas is a hard thing for Black people to let go. Like, even if they don't want a present, they have to get someone a present. And you'll be like, you'll be mystified, and not in a good way. You'll what's the word? You'll marvel at how lost our people are and how steadfast they're locked into the traditions of America, of the white man. Salaki, I cannot find it. I have to find it, because this book it's a nice volume of words. So in essence, he made a distinction. He's seen a distinction in the Christian church with the Black church and the white church, and how white pastors struggle to stand up for God, but also feel the heat from the white community if they ever try to come together with the Black church. And so inherently you have a divide. You have a Black church, and sometimes back in the 40s, 50s, they would have something like it'd be a day where the Black pastor, or more likely to be the white pastor, would come to the Black pastor's church to do a sermon. And they would do that once in a while. But that is in essence Christianity, because why? Christianity cannot bring us together. We are inherently who we are, who God designed us to be, which is people cleave unto they like. You love your people. You want to be around your people. You're more comfortable with your people. And I'm not talking about in the truth. I'm talking about just regular people in the world. You're more comfortable with Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. You're more comfortable around some Black people. You feel at ease if you're somewhere away from home on a trip or something and you see one Black person. You ever heard those type of stories? People will be like, they're out abroad, they didn't went traveling, and it's no Black people. And the first Black person they see, they connect. They feel relief, and they feel like, I know I have somebody here. It's because naturally you cleave unto your own. It's only forced in America. The philosophy that it's a melting pot. We're in this big melting pot of all races and ethnicities coming together to make America. That philosophy is stuck in your head. But inherently, what you want to do without even trying is to be around your people. Now, you can single out some people and say, oh yeah, they go out their way to have white friends and to have Asian friends. They go out their way, but you're forced to be in these places. So the only time you really are mixed and you're mingling with people is when you're at work, because you have to make the money. Everybody is there. At school, because everybody has to go to school. At the mall, like in a place where people shop at, that's where you'll see diversity. You got to remember, the white man has to make laws in order for you to be able to climb the ladder in corporate America. They have companies that have diversity laws, because if it wasn't for them having laws against their nature, then you wouldn't be there as Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians.
Right.
You wouldn't be a CEO in some Fortune 500 company. You wouldn't be the first Black woman, vice president, and none of that if it wasn't for these diversity laws that they have to incorporate against themselves. Against their true nature is to just hire all white people. You look at that House Senate. Let me see. Let me show you something. Yeah, I mean, y'all know what I'm talking about. You look at the Congress. I don't believe it's the Congress, but what's the one? It's that. Is it the Congress? It's nothing but old white men. It's like it makes you think, like, how can a Black or Hispanic ever get in that room? They'll never get in that room. They'll never be amongst those people. because these are the people that run America and make these laws and everything, you know. And so that's just the nature. And so when it comes to the Christian church, Black and Hispanic people, you're a Christian, you're in the Christian church, you need to ask yourself, why are there white churches and Black churches if Christ is all about loving everybody and the religion you follow is all about loving and coming together and holding hands in the spirit of brotherhood and you know, judging people by the content of their character? Why in the hell is there in 2024 still all white churches? Why is there all Black churches?
Right.
Maybe there's something natural about it. Maybe there's something that the Lord wanted us to be, how he created everyone. Give me Deuteronomy, what is that? Is that what I want? Deuteronomy 6 and 7. I could take that one for now. What's the one? I know Kodash will know. What's the one for I have severed you? I have severed you from other people. Just let me know when you get it. I'll pull this video up.
The I have severed you, or the Deuteronomy?
Give me that one. Yeah.
Deuteronomy 6 and 7.
No, that's not it. That's
you want the severed one? So like,
yeah.
Come on. Leviticus 20 and 26.
Mm-hmm.
The book of Leviticus, chapter 20, verse 26. And ye shall be holy unto me, for I, the Lord, am holy, and have severed you from other people, that ye should be mine.
The Lord said that we should be holy, meaning to be separate. Right. But he said, I have severed you. Like to sever something is to cut something off. To sever something. You think about, you know, a limb being severed. Well, that's how the Lord wanted his people to be. That's how he created everyone. He created everyone separate. He created all the nations separate and gave them their own land and their own place where they would stay in their own borders. Now, that's not to say that people would not come together to do business. That's different from being separate. That's different from going, you know, doing business, then going back to your community, taking care of your community, being, you know, only worrying about what you got going on with your people. Other than that, like you're doing the business with other groups, other nations, but other than that, you're not trying to hang with them and learn their customs and learn, you know, about their gods and, you know, the dances they do. You're not trying to do all of that because your whole focus is on sticking to your kind, which we see, but we act like we don't see it. Asians do it. I know out here, Eritreans do it. Nigerians do it. Like all of these different immigrant groups do it. You just don't understand it. You don't think that they're separate from you, but they are separate from you. They're very separate. They stick to I remember when we was going to high school, and I'll just say the Eritreans, they were cool. They were cool. Some of them was on the basketball team, but I'm just gonna say, like, they stuck together. And it was a whole bunch of them that was from, you know, they wasn't related, but they was all from the same place. And they was here in America. So they stuck together on the bus going to school, at school, and on the way home. They stuck together. They would talk and mingle with brothers and sisters, but for the most part, they stuck with their own kind. And we seem to think that that's something wrong with us. If we think it's wrong, Black people are so Christianized in your mind and your spirit. You think that it is a crime to just love Black people and just to think, you know, just be focused on us and exclude everybody. We're the only people that feel like we have to love everyone, hug everyone, show everyone we have compassion for them, show everyone we rooting for them, when they don't even return that to you. You don't, you do not get that same love back from other people. They'll laugh with you. They'll joke with you. They'll even make money with you. But they don't feel the same way, and they don't go the extra mile like we do for other nations. They don't. You can drop that. I'm gonna play this video with this pastor. Played it a little earlier in the week. Pastor asked for $2,100. All right.
Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you find yourself watching this message. Thank you so much for adjusting your schedule to spend this time with me today. I wanted to spend a moment to give you the state of our church and to let you know where we are after the unfortunate events of Hurricane Beryl that came at us unexpectedly.
Now, this pastor is Pastor Keon Henderson. During my live, I had a live on Sunday. I found out, I didn't even know. I found out that he is married to Shaquille O'Neal's ex-wife, Shani or something like that. He's married to her. Well, his church, their church, I guess it was destroyed, uninhabitable now from Hurricane Beryl that came through Texas. He's having church at Joel Osteen's church, the mega church. Remember, Joel Osteen didn't want to open his doors. The last time it was a storm and people were displaced. He didn't want to open the doors to the mega church. Well, he's there and he did this message. And so I'm going to skip.
Started off as a hurricane.
I'm going to skip to the meat.
There was water rushing out of the prosper. And so, yes, in the midst of tragedy, we've chosen to be active participants. We name ourselves Lighthouse Church because we want it to be convenient. We named ourselves the Lighthouse Church because we were equipping people to stand the storm. And coming in our direction is a signal that you're getting closer to land. We've faced heartaches before, and we've overcome them. We are in, and I mean this with all of my heart, we are in the toughest test that our church has ever faced. But we will not cry. We will cry out to God with strength, with courage, with tenacity, and with comfort. So in the meantime, as I sit and I face you on one of the premier stages in the world, I want to thank God.
Let me see.
Wood staff for welcoming us. We're building a symbol of branding for living rooms, and you loaned me your spirits. Thank you for using abysmal, but we made it.
Here we go.
I told our church that we were going to start over. And yet again, I believe God said, Keon, your faith was too small. So let me blow the building down so you can build what I put in your heart. I want to increase the size of our sanctuary by 2. I want to double the size of it so that no one who has an opportunity to get in is turned away because we don't have a seat. We can't wait on the insurance company to do that. I need you from around the world. If I've ever preached a message that has touched your spirit, if I've ever spoken into your life and you started the company that you were not going to start had I not pushed you in faith, if you were thinking about ending your own life, but somehow God gave me a word that made you fight to live another day, I need you. I won't pretend like I can do this by myself. If I could do this alone, trust me, it would be done already. But I am a feeble man who puts himself at the mercy of the court. and ask you to join me in a journey because we do not have time to waste. We cannot build and we cannot raise money for 3 years and then build another 2 years and have all of these people displaced. God gave me a vision.
He said God gave him a vision. Now he said they were turning at the old church, they were turning away 600 to 700 people because the building wasn't big enough. He said God knocked it down and said his vision wasn't big enough. So now he wants to double up. He wants to build it by 2. He wants to double it up, to double the size of the new building.
And he said we can do it in 21 days. I'm asking 2,100 people to give $2,100 in the next 21 days. And what we're calling it is out of the harbor. You see, a ship is safe.
He said he's asking people to give 2,100 people to give $2,100 in 21 days. These Christian pastors hate black people. These Christian pastors are all about their own gain. These Christian pastors do not love the Lord's people.
Right.
These Christian pastors are all about profits and getting rich and waxing fat and fattening their pockets. You understand? And he fixed his mouth to ask poor people, to ask God's people for $2,100. $2,100. Who has $2,100 in these hard times? People are struggling to pay their goddamn bills, and you're asking people to give you that much money. You are out of your damn mind. You understand? Give me Ezekiel 34, where I want it. Let me see. 34:1. Start with 34:1.
Come on. The book of Ezekiel, chapter 34, verse 1.
Mm-hmm.
The word of the Lord came unto me, saying, Son of man, prophesy against the shepherds of Israel.
Uh-huh.
Prophesy and say unto them, Thus saith the Lord God unto the shepherds, Woe be to the shepherds of Israel that do feed themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Should not the shepherds feed the flocks?
The Lord said, destruction be to those pastors who are supposed to shepherd God's chosen people. They feed themselves. But shouldn't they be feeding the flock?
Right.
Shouldn't they be teaching the flock? Shouldn't they be giving the people spiritual guidance and understanding? Shouldn't they actually be feeding the people? I'm sure these churches have made well enough amount of money to finance a few small cities from all those tithes and offerings.
Right.
I think a report came out that said since the 80s, black churches have gotten more than $400 billion in tithes from the black community. Where is all of that money going to? To feed themselves? Because it damn sure ain't going into the community. It damn sure ain't going to, cover the expenses on your grandmother who was in the church for 40 years and paid her tithes. And when she died, she didn't have no insurance money. It damn sure ain't going to that.
Right.
They're not covering the cost of that. You understand? It's going to their stinking, selfish lifestyle. Greedy, fat lifestyle that they're living off of the backs of poor people, wanting to sow a seed and wanting to please God, and following a pastor who is flamboyant and flaming and Lord knows what else, but preying on God's people. You understand? Keep reading.
Come on. Verse 3.
Mm-hmm.
Ye eat the fat, and ye clothe you with the wool.
Uh-huh.
Ye Ye kill them that are fed, but ye feed not the flock. Verse 4.
You eating, but you don't feed the people that's supposed to get fed. You're not feeding the people that's supposed to get fed. You turn your backs on the people that actually are supposed to get all of your attention,
Right.
and all of your resources. It's not you. I thought Christ fed the multitude. I don't remember the multitude feeding Christ. I don't remember the multitude putting money in Christ's pocket, in the disciples' pocket,
Right.
to build a house. I mean, to build a building, a mega church. I thought Christ and the disciples went from city to city, synagogue to synagogue, preaching the word of the Lord in the chief concourse places of the city. I don't think they was, looking for people to donate $2,100 so that they can get a mega church. Go ahead.
Come on. Verse 4. The disease have ye not strengthened, neither have ye healed that which was sick, neither have ye bound up that which was broken, neither have ye brought again that which was driven away, neither have ye sought that which was lost, but with force and with cruelty have ye ruled them.
And this is the thing. Our people are suffering from so many things, whether it be mental, physical, spiritual, and these pastors have not focused on that. They have only focused on something in the sky, some prosperity gospel and glory of God that does absolutely nothing for the problems that Black and Hispanic people have. You can't deal with drug addiction talking about the glory of God and pleading the blood of Jesus. You can't deal with sexual urges talking about the glory of God. There's certain things that drug addiction, you can't do it. You need the medicine that only brothers in the I.S.U.P.K can give you.
Right.
The Christian church gives you an excuse, and you can live a life however you want to live a life. And when you're in trouble, then you can cry out for the glory of God and you can cry some tears, but it doesn't fix what you're dealing with. It doesn't hold you accountable for what you're doing, for what you're doing. And these pastors are to blame. Right. You want to know why the Black and Hispanic church communities are destroyed? You look no further than these churches and these leaders, so-called religious leaders, shepherds, priests, pastors, reverends, deacons that lead our people, that have the ear of our people. Our people love to hear something good. Our people want to hear something good, and they don't want to be charged with what they're doing wrong. The Bible says that the Israelites are a hard-headed, stiff-necked people. So we want to hear anything that sounds good. 1 second. Give me 2 Timothy 4:3. 2 Timothy 4:3.
The book of 2 Timothy chapter 4 verse 3. For the time will come when they will not endure sound doctrine, but after their own lust shall they heap to themselves teachers, having itching ears.
So it came, that time has come where our people don't want to endure sound doctrine, something that makes sense, something that is righteous, something that deep down inside you know you need to do. You would rather heap to yourself teachers that, because you have itching ears. Your ears itch for something that you want to hear. Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian people want to hear that God is all about prosperity and all about you having money, being blessed, having success at your job, getting a promotion, whatever the case may be, getting your degree, getting another degree, and get another degree after that. Our people are brainwashed to think that God is all about something good. When you see all of the destruction in the world, all of the chaos in the world, all of the negativity in the world, all of the rape, the murder, all of the bad things that happen, and you still think that the Lord is one-sided, that he's only all good, and that's because you want it. You want people, or should I say, you want leaders to tell you what you want to hear, and not what you don't want to hear. It's like a child. A child is going to, they're going to go to the parent that they know is a yes man. The parent that allows them to do things, the child is going to go ask them. They'll go right past their father and ask their mother for something because they know what the father is going to say. And that's the same thing as Black, Hispanics, and Indians. You want, as a leader, you want the weakest link to be your leader. You want to follow a doctrine that is the weakest doctrine to follow. The doctrine where you have to challenge yourself or change the least. Okay. Let me see. Is there any more on that?
That's it.
Okay, let's go back to let's go back to where was that? Ezekiel 34.
Ezekiel 34. Oh,
I think we were on what 4 or 5.
Verse 5.
Mm-hmm.
The book of Ezekiel, chapter 34, verse 5. And they were scattered because there is no shepherd, and they became meat to all the beasts of the field.
So our people were scattered because there's no shepherd. Today, Black and Hispanic people are scattered because there's no shepherd. There are shepherds in the I.S.U.P.K under Commander Jenny YAHANNA, and our job is it's a job that is, it's hard to do because there's very few of us. The workers are few, but the harvest is plenty. So we get into it. We get into it. We get into shepherding Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. But our chief enemy is the religion of Christianity, the Christian church, which has the minds and the hearts of Black and brown people. Go ahead.
Okay. When they were scattered, verse 6. My sheep wandered through all the mountains and upon every high hill.
They wandered through all the mountains and every high hill. Go ahead.
Yea, my flock was scattered upon all the face of the earth, and none did search or seek after them. Verse 7. Therefore, ye shepherds, hear the word of the Lord. As I live, saith the Lord God, surely because my flock became a prey, and my flock became meat to every beast of the field, because there was no shepherd.
You said because when he's talking about my flock became meat to every beast of the field, he's talking about the other nations.
Right.
We became meat to the other nations. That's Psalms 83. We became a prey to the other nations because we have no shepherd. Our people are a prey now because of Christianity, because they have no shepherd. So you can rest assured that you will hear about another Sandra Massey. You'll hear about another Eric Brown. Michael Brown. You'll hear about another Trayvon Martin. You'll continue to hear this because our people have not been taught who is who and what is what according to the Bible, and have an understanding of who the devil is and what you are actually dealing with in the physical realm. You're dealing with the physical counterpart to Satan on earth when you're dealing with these people, your oppressor. And we don't have that. No one is searching to teach Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians this truth, except for the I.S.U.P.K, where the Lord decided to put this truth in 1969. You understand? You got a lot of people that call themselves, doing the work of the Lord. There's only one home of the truth. You understand? And a
Right.
lot of these fake Israelites sit there and watch I.S.U.P.K videos and then go out and try to teach. I guarantee you they doing it on the slide. I promise you they in the classes getting breakdowns and teaching, because the breakdowns can only come from one place, and they always have. But our people are, they're prey to these other nations. Specifically, when you see what happens to us and you say, well, this is not fair. Why this is always happening? You can look at your Black leaders and your Christian pastors and why it's always happening. Why it seems like we don't have any sense. Why it seems like we think that when we're in certain situations that, oh, I'm an American, I got rights too. When you wearing the uniform, the military uniform, you get pulled over and treated like any nigga from anywhere, from any hood. Don't be. I seen one where it was a brother that was undercover. He showed his credentials, and they still was treating him like he wasn't a police officer. You don't know who you're dealing with. You don't know what time it is. You don't know what you're supposed to be eating and not eating. You don't know what you're supposed to be celebrating and not celebrating. It's because the shepherds have not visited you. They haven't came in search for you. They haven't came to feed you. They allowed you to just go astray and be scattered. And now all the other nations have come to feed on you and take what they can from you and swindle you and bring you, Bangkok chicken and wigs and weaves and sell it to you and make millions off of you. Right? Go ahead.
Verse 7. Therefore, ye shepherds, hear the word of the Lord. As I live, saith the Lord God, surely because my flock became a prey, and my flock became meat to every beast of the field, because there was no shepherd, neither did my shepherds search for my flock, but the shepherds fed themselves and fed not my flock.
The shepherds fed themselves and didn't feed the flock. The shepherds got fat and rich. They asking for $2,100 in 21 days. And if you go watch this video, he says, and you're going to do it. You're going to do it with resources and with your focus. He went from begging to saying, you're going to do it. My followers, if I ever gave you a message that just brightened up your day, if I ever gave you a message that, you was thinking about, taking your own life, but you didn't. And that's how they swindled our people. That's what the Bible is talking about right now, how they fed themselves. He should be teaching. This is the same pastor. I don't know if y'all remember, but probably like a month or two ago, I went over this cat where there's a snippet where he's talking about where it says a woman should be silent in the church. That wasn't saying that women shouldn't teach the Bible. It was saying that it was prostitutes outside, and the men was going outside with the prostitutes, and people was coming back in the place murmuring, and that's what that was all about. I said, what in the hell? He made up a whole story that is not even in the Bible to explain the precept, where it's just cut and dry. It's cut and dry. He made up a whole backdrop story to say women can teach. And this is why the Lord blew his damn church down, because he's a false prophet.
Right.
And this is why all of these pastors are getting exposed, whether it's a sexual crime, stealing money from the church, Joel Osteen, the church he in, y'all remember they found like a couple $100,000 in the wall of the church. A plumber was in the church working in that church, and I guess he cut into the drywall or something, and it was money stuffed in the wall. These people, I ain't gonna even call Joe Steen a pastor. He's a damn werewolf. But these people that supposedly are men of God are stealing from God's chosen people, are swindling God's chosen people, and they are not feeding them what they need to be feeding them, meaning what they need to be teaching them. Go ahead.
Verse 10.
Mhm.
Thus saith the Lord God, behold, I am against the shepherds, and I will require my flock at their hand, and cause them to cease from feeding the flock.
The Lord said he's going to cut them off. He's going to cause them to cease from feeding the flock, meaning they are not going to be in position anymore. It's going to come a time where you're going to see an exodus out of the Black Christian church, a mass exodus of Black people leaving the church and not listening to these people anymore. Then our people are your great grandfather and grandmother set up under this garbage and believe this garbage. And on down the line, here you are still shucking and jiving, hoping and hollering, running up and down, acting a damn fool, but cannot even fix your family, cannot even put a cigarette down, cannot stop hating your brothers and sisters. And you're supposed to be learning from somebody who is a man of God. We're talking about men of God like Moses, like Elijah, like Elisha, like Aaron, like King David. We're talking about you're supposed to be learning from somebody that could fix the problems in your life or direct you on what you need to do to change. And when you step outside, you don't have to worry about somebody that you seen growing up that became a teenager robbing somebody or shooting at somebody. You go outside and your community is a reflection of what the Christian pastors have taught the people over the decades. That's what the Black and Hispanic community is a reflection of. It's not a reflection of, we just natural born criminals. It's a reflection of not having been fed by the shepherds and not having any correction, not having anybody, towing the line, saying what needs to be said, teaching the people what God says, whether they hear or forbear, instead of worrying about how many people are going to be sitting in your church next Saturday, because that's what they worried about. That last video I did with him where he said he tried to make up a whole scenario where women can teach, that was just to keep the women in the church. If he got up there and said that women cannot teach the Bible, you know how many women would show up the next Sunday? None of them would show up the next Sunday.
Right.
You understand? I'm gonna drop this. Is it any more? I think it is a little more.
There's one. For I will deliver my flock from their mouth, that they may not be meat for them. Keep going. Verse 11. That was in the verse 10. Come on.
You still there?
Come on, yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, verse 11. Salaki. For thus saith the Lord God, behold, even I will both search my sheep and seek them out, as a shepherd seeketh out his flock in the day, that he is among his sheep that are scattered. So will I seek out my sheep and will deliver them out of all places where they have been scattered in the cloud, in the cloudy and dark day.
So in that day, the cloudy and dark day, you know what that is? That's Judgment Day, when the Lord will seek out his people. You understand? And we got to wake up, man. When it comes to this, like this is not rocket science. It shouldn't be hard. And you talking about your belief in fighting for your soul and having an understanding of who God is and what your purpose is. Black and Hispanic people need to inspect, need to look at these men that stand before them, challenge these men that stand before them in the scriptures, challenge them on every damn thing. You understand? Challenge them with this truth. Start asking them questions. I know there's a lot of brothers and sisters that might be, teetering the line and probably heard about the truth. And you're wondering, like, is this really real? I've been in the church my whole life. That's where a lot of us was at. That's where I was at. I was hearing the truth. I was going to church and I'm hearing the truth. And I'm like, this makes a lot more sense than this gibberish and all this crap they be talking at church. So I started challenging the pastors and asking them questions like, can you explain this precept? Can you explain this? And they never could explain it. They never had an answer for, what it was. It was always some delusional fantasy, what is a holier than thou story. They couldn't just break it down like how it's supposed to be broke down, like brothers in I.S.U.P.K. They could not just teach you what this means. And you got so many people sitting up in the church all high and mighty, and you don't know a goddamn thing about God. You don't know the manner of the God that we serve. And it's a damn shame. And it's because of pastors like that, like Keon, what's his name? I was going to say Keon Dooling. I think that was a basketball player. Keon Richardson don't know a goddamn thing. You know what I'm saying? So let me see. Time check. Okay. Let's see. Let's get Salakia. So with the migrant crisis, I went over this, but I'm gonna play a video real quick. I went over this, I believe, last week, just talking about how they are actually like pitting you're starting to see this now. Pay attention. You're starting to see a lot of talk, especially with Black people online, about migrants, or should I say, our brown brothers that have come over here getting benefits like EBT, right? You're starting to see a lot of people raise hell about that. Like, why can't I get it? I've been trying to get it. I ain't getting the benefits, as Black people. So I'm gonna play a video real quick. Well, I'm gonna probably play about 3 videos.
I'm in the store, $200, man, trying to make groceries just to make it till we get paid for something for the kids to eat after school. Immigrant in front of me, and she got $10,000 on her food stamp card with $3,000 cash. Come on, man, but I work every day to pay my taxes for this shit right here, man. For them to get all that there, man, I'm not knocking nobody in their hustle, man. But goddamn, man, stop taking my money again. People, I understand if you gave it to some people in our community that really, really motherfucking needed it, man. But instead, y'all sending money to Ukraine, you know what I'm saying, billions of dollars. But you got people over here that need that same shit, man. Man, well, I'm trying to figure out how the fuck can I get $10,000 worth of food stamp? What, I gotta go back to Africa, they say? Man, stop it, man. This shit ain't right, man.
So you starting to see this energy, though. You starting to notice this energy where you got Black people that's upset that they can't get the same benefits. And one thing he said in there, I agree, which was my argument, has been my argument the whole time. Why, when they talk about things like this, they're only talking about our brown brothers? They're only talking about Venezuelans. They ain't talking about Ukrainians. They're not talking about people from Afghanistan. They're not talking about nobody else except our brown brothers. You understand? And so it's a play. You got to understand, it's a play that they're playing right now where they're saying, oh, look at this, Black people. Look at what they're getting to rile Black people up to hate their brothers. And it goes back to, why are you mad? Okay, the resources have always been there. The money has always been there. You should be more mad that they can just pull the money out of nowhere and give somebody some money and say, well, damn, it's been there this whole time. Why couldn't we get no money?
Right.
Instead of looking at your brothers and being angry with them. Let me play this other video for time's sake. Let me see what we got. Let me play this other video. I got three of them.
I'm just waiting on the day that everybody in Chicago wake up and start talking about how these Venezuelans are the only people that's getting jobs. How the Venezuelans in Chicago get an EBT card with $4,000 on there, and every time somebody posts it, y'all always removing it. I'm just waiting. Because it's crazy. Like, I went to go fill out a whole bunch of job applications, and y'all know them things is in Spanish. Like, not to say I don't know Spanish, but that is crazy. Like, how a city can adjust to the outside before they make accommodations for the inside. But ain't nobody talking about that. It's all right, though.
Now you heard that, right? And her thing was like, how can a city adjust and make accommodations? Black people have been here for 400 years, asking for reparations, asking for all type of things, and haven't got none of those things. All I'm saying is the anger should not be at Venezuelans, right? Listen, I'm glad that they came over here and they getting out of wherever they coming from. When you think about these places, Nicaragua, you think about Central America, South America, many of these places are destabled, right? Because of what America did when they was in there. So now they're coming from these countries, they're coming from this area with a destabilized government, but America was you got to go look up the Iran-Contra scandal with Ronald Reagan. America had a deal getting drugs from Mexico, bringing it in here, putting it in black and brown communities. The reporter came out with it. They put him to death. They said he committed suicide. He had 2 bullet holes in his head. I don't know how you can shoot yourself twice, but a reporter cracked the whole thing, put it on blast. Right? Anyway, let me get this next video. Wait, you saying, okay, let me look. You saying, give your opinion. You don't want to get blocked. Biden Harris is giving it to them. Trump is talking about it. No, people cannot just come here. They have to get asylum from their nearest country. Well, white people just came here, right? Like we talk about a lot of this stuff that we talk about when people are outraged about it, when it comes to immigration policies and all of that. This is my stance. The Native American Indians should have had an immigration policy. Geronimo, Sitting Bull, Black Cloud, they should have had a immigration policy. It's an outrage that a people who once freely roamed this land is now called an alien, an illegal alien. But are they the real, true illegal alien? Miss Know-It-All? The Spaniards came here, the English came here too. Yeah, but just because, like, how they say, well, I got kids and they say, I say, well, why did you do that? Why did you do that to her? And she said, well, she did this. But why did you do it? It doesn't make it right. I hate when people do that. Even with slavery, they try to downplay and rationalize it and say, many countries had slavery. Many countries, like black people are not the only people that had slavery. So what it does is it kind of like tries to make it like it doesn't have any effect anymore. It's not a bad thing anymore because a lot of people do it. No, it's still bad. You said, and we're all here, and you're paying. You said black. Oh, see, that's where you messing up. Black people own slaves. White people own more slaves. You know, I can play this game with you. I can play the game. You know, I'm very sharp on my history. Oh yeah, that's the one y'all love to go to. Black people sold other blacks into slavery, and Africans sold God's chosen people into slavery. You probably didn't know that. You probably think all black people is the same, but our brothers did not sell us. It was our enemies that sold us, and that's true. And you know what? Guess what? This might be the kicker. This might be the kicker. We hold Africans just as accountable as we hold white people.
Right.
We hold look, African don't get no pass with me. You said I can't hold you accountable. You know what? I can't hold you accountable. You're right about that. You know, you don't have to pay for anything to anyone. You're right about that. Give me Isaiah. Give me Isaiah 14, somewhere around 21, 14. You know what? Because I kind of can agree with y'all. You know, I agree with y'all. Like, you know, I actually was not a slave. I wasn't a slave. I can't say that I was a slave. You know, the Jewish people today that live today, they can't actually say they went through the Holocaust, but you know, their forefathers did. But you'll never say that to them, right? Give me that. Just let me know when you got it.
I got it.
All right, go ahead.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 14, verse 21. Prepare slaughter for his children, for the iniquity of their fathers.
Read that a little louder for me, Ibad.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 14, verse 21.
Uh-huh.
Prepare slaughter for his children, for the iniquity.
Listen, the Bible says to prepare slaughter for his children for the iniquity, meaning the sins of their fathers. Go ahead.
That they do not rise, nor possess the land, nor fill the face of the world with cities.
That they do not rise again, nor possess the land, nor fill the face of the world with cities anymore. This is the prophecy to the Edomites. It was a man named Esau, and he's the progenitor, the father of the entire white race today. You see, everybody on this planet, we all have our beginnings in Genesis 10, and we're still here on the earth today. The problem is a lot of people haven't figured out that these people all play a part in the end of the world, in the end times, in World War III. Go ahead.
Verse 22. For I will rise up against them, saith the Lord of hosts.
You can just stop that. So, you know, Mrs. Know-It-All, you know I can't make you pay, but God is going to make you pay. God is going to make you pay. Like, I personally can't make you pay. No one can make anybody pay. But when Christ returns, a black man, he will make everybody pay. You can say what you want, but you will pay. Whether you in the grave when Christ return or not, you will pay, and you will see you will see a nation of black and brown people ruling over the earth.
Right.
I can't help the fact that history happened the way it happened. Your forefathers were devils. They were evil. I can't help that they did what they did to God's chosen people. But the prophecy has been written. It's written in stone, and it's going to come to pass, you know. Moving on. So when we talk about, you know what, for time's sake, because I got to be somewhere, let's just get, that's a beautiful precept, by the way, too, that we just read. It cuts to the core, to the Christian that says, like, you know, let's make bygones be bygones. I wasn't there. I didn't do it. Why do I have to pay? You live, you benefit from the life that your great-great-grandfathers did, as far as them murdering, pillaging, raping, and robbing the Native American Indians, the Gadites, Spanish conquistadors, the Aztec Indians. They did it to the Aztec Indians. And the English also, you know, did what they did. Like slavery was one thing, but after that, Jim Crow, you know, lynching, burning people, and just it, you know, there is nothing that can really compare to the cruelty and the terrorism and inhumaneness that was perpetrated against Black and brown people.
Right.
There's nothing I can think of. There's nothing I can think of. Literally, I can't. I know about a few atrocities that happened in history, but there's nothing I can really think of. And the cold part is the pictures are still online. You can go and see it yourself. You can go and see it yourself. You came on here talking about you didn't want to get blocked, but damn, you're really trying hard to get blocked. Stop trying to steal Jews' inheritance. Go find me a real Jew. Go give me a Jewish person, and I promise you, they can't prove to me that they are really a Jew. I can prove to them with their own scholars that they are not Jews. With Jewish scholars that say they ain't Jews.
Right.
They call themselves Israelis. They don't never call themselves Israelites because they are not connected to the Israelites. The Israelites were Black. People, if you did a little research, you would know that. If you did a little research, but yeah, I'm about to get up out of here, y'all. We'll be back next Wednesday. Hey, that was a good little discussion. Maybe we can go live, Miss Know It All. Maybe we can go live and, you know, have a discussion. I'm open for that. You know, I don't have nothing against you, but, you know, so desperate to be special. I am special. You trying to be special on my live feed. You here. You wanted to be on center stage. You might be a little special as fast as you typing. The last, let me see, 2, 4, 6, 8. The last damn near 12 comments is you. So you might be a little special, literally. You know? All right, y'all. We're gonna get up out of here, man. Just remember that the cookout is coming up. The cookout is coming up. What's the date?
The September 26th to the 29th.
The cookout is coming up, and guess what? Only Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians are invited.
That's right.
Only Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians are invited. And any migrants, any illegal aliens, they're invited too.
Right.
They can eat and you know, have a good time with the brothers and the sisters in the spirit of brotherhood, like Christ commanded us. With that, that's the class, right, y'all. Just clap it up. Hey, I'll see y'all next Wednesday. Shalom, Lord in Christ.
Shalom, Lord in Christ.